So how about that epic Modern Warfare campaign ending? It was absolutely crazy, especially for those of us who have played the original trilogy, with all those insane name drops, those cameos, whether it was just their names being mentioned or actual faces being seen. There were so many different things that you may have either, picked up on or missed out on, or if you never played the original trilogy, you probably have no idea what any of it means. So this is more specifically for people who may have not played the original trilogy, or again, those who may have not picked up on all the name drops and who everybody is that was mentioned, especially towards the end of Call of Duty Modern Warfare's campaign. Of course, we're talking about the 2019 soft reboot of Modern Warfare that just came out October 25th, 2019. Super exciting stuff. If you don't want any spoilers, now's your chance to click off the video. If you're still here, we're going to jump straight into it. There were a lot of name drops. Now, it was revealed that one of the characters you play as, Kyle, is actually Gaz, which is a character from the old trilogy, the original Modern Warfare trilogy. Lieutenant Gaz was actually a member of the British Special Air Service. He was a veteran Special Forces operator that was in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and of course Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, which was just the remastered version of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, of course. And yeah, so we played as him in Modern Warfare. So that was the first one that was very, very interesting. See, obviously Captain Price, we know him very well. If you don't know him very well, you better get to know him, man, because we're going to be seeing a lot of him. He's one of the most classic Call of Duty characters, alongside, in my opinion, Mason and Woods from the Black Ops series. Soap, John Price, Ghost. These are a bunch of different names you're going to be hearing throughout this video, and of course throughout the next iteration of this new Modern Warfare trilogy, because I guarantee you they're going to be making a brand new trilogy. The way it ended, they're obviously going to be making a second one, a brand new MW2, if you will. So obviously Captain John Price needs no introduction. If you guys played through any of the Modern Warfare games, whether it was the original trilogy or this new Modern Warfare soft reboot, then you're very familiar with who Captain John Price is, and you can obviously tell that he is the one that came up with the idea for Task Force 141, as mentioned at the end of Modern Warfare, obviously the 2019 version, the newest Modern Warfare, if you will. And he's obviously he's a British Special Forces sniper, and obviously one of the main characters throughout the Modern Warfare series. And he's just an overall boss. He is freaking amazing. He's just one of the best characters in the Call of Duty universe. So another character that we've seen return in this new Modern Warfare game that's from the original trilogy is Nikolai. Now, Nikolai in the original trilogy was somewhat of a Russian informant who would he was basically an ally. He was on your side, but he would dwell amongst the enemies, if you will, and give you guys inside intel, and always help you out with various things. He again, he was a Russian informant. He was an ally. He was basically someone on the inside for you, and it seems like he's somewhat similar in this new Modern Warfare reboot. Okay, so obviously if you want the complete in-depth bios and details of each of these characters, you can look them up on the Call of Duty wiki. I'm just giving you guys a very brief rundown on who they are, why they're relevant, and who they were in the original trilogy. But the next one is General Shepard. Now, General Shepard was name dropped near the end of the game, and in the original trilogy, you might have seen some videos and some memes of people's reactions to when he betrays you, because in the original trilogy, he was of course the general of the US Army, and you think he's on your side until near the end of Modern Warfare 2. You actually see that he's not on your side, he's on the enemy side. He actually betrays you, killing your player Roach and killing your teammate Simon Ghost Riley, which we're going to talk about Simon Ghost Riley in just a second here. So General Shepard, not a good guy in the original trilogy. I'm assuming they're going to go in the similar direction with this brand new soft reboot, if you will. and just hearing his name drop was absolutely insane. Okay, so like I said, Roach was also a member of Task Force 141, Sergeant Gary Roach Sanderson. He was the main playable character in Modern Warfare 2. He was your character, essentially, and he was a British Special Forces operator of the multinational Task Force 141, and of course under the command of John Soap McTavish, and operating behind the scenes during World War III. Because yes, there was a World War III in the original Modern Warfare trilogy. Which of course brings us over to John Soap McTavish. You guys are probably wondering who he is. No, I am not talking about John Price, Captain John Price. This is John Soap McTavish. You guys are probably familiar with Soap if you guys played the original trilogy. Again, part of the Task Force 141. He was one of the main characters and played a huge important role during the the whole series, really. He's actually the main playable character in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and of course Modern Warfare Remastered. He plays as a sergeant and a special forces soldier, and in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, he's a captain and the field commander of Task Force 141 alongside Captain John Price, with of course Roach and Simon Ghost Riley under his command. So that is his role in the original trilogy, but unfortunately he too ended up dying, and he was actually killed in action after being caught in an explosion with Yuri, and he ended up falling from a very high distance while trying to assassinate Makarov, which we're going to talk about Makarov very, very briefly in a second here. But Makarov, I don't believe, was name dropped in the new Modern Warfare game. So then of course we have Yuri, also part of the Task Force 141. He was the main playable character in Modern Warfare 3. He was a Russian loyalist, and previously, before being part of the Task Force 141, he was actually, ironically, a close friend and former right-hand man of Vladimir Makarov, who was the main villain you go after at the end of Modern Warfare 3. Him and Makarov actually both saved Imran Zakharov's life, who is another main villain that we're going to talk about, who's also name dropped in the new Modern Warfare. But he actually ended up betraying Makarov after the airport massacre, in which he then served with Task Force 141. Him and John Price ended up going after Makarov at the end of Modern Warfare 3 to kill him to avenge Soap's death, in which Makarov kills Yuri. And then we have Lieutenant Simon Ghost Riley, who I think is one of the most identifiable characters in the Modern Warfare series, only because he's always wearing that mask that looks like a ghost, or like a skeleton mask, if you will, and no one ever knows what his face actually looks like. And it's the same thing with this new Modern Warfare Soft reboot. At the end, when John Price has all of the files, Ghost Simon Riley, he has no picture, and John Price chuckles at the fact that he never shows his face, essentially. So he was actually second in command of Task Force 141. He's always seen wearing dark red sunglasses, skull patterned kind of mask, and he always has his headset on as well. So pretty awesome character in my opinion. And of course, like I said, he ended up being killed by General Shepard. Him and Ghost were killed in Modern Warfare 2 by Shepard. So obviously, really quick, worth mentioning is Makarov. We've already talked about him a little bit. I don't believe he was name dropped in this new Modern Warfare series, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lead up to him eventually in Modern Warfare 3 again. I kind of hope they do. Similarly, because he ended up being the main antagonist of Modern Warfare 3. He was actually only the secondary antagonist of Modern Warfare 2, and he was only a minor character in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare game. He served as Imran Zakharov's protege, and yeah, he was definitely a very interesting character, which again leads us to Imran Zakharov, which we did have a little bit of a name drop for him as well in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, of course. And he was also one of the main antagonists in the Modern Warfare series. John Price and Soap actually tried to assassinate him, in which they just barely missed, sniping off his arm, but he unfortunately survived. But he was actually later killed by John Soap McTavish. But unfortunately, through all the ideals that he had created, That is what led to all the catastrophes of World War III. Later on in Modern Warfare 3, 5 years after he had died. Now, he did actually have a son, Viktor Zakharov, which I believe is the one who got name dropped in Modern Warfare. Now, I know I just said that I believe that Imran Zakharov was the one that got name dropped in the new Modern Warfare, but I actually believe it was Viktor. That was my mistake. I believe it was Viktor, his son, that got name dropped, Viktor Zakharov. So apparently he's in the game. The family bloodline is in the game. That is the point. And anyways, his son obviously worked very close with him, and Viktor obviously was, another antagonist in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare series. And so it was very interesting to hear his name drop as well, which leads us to yet another antagonist, which is Khalid al-Assad, if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably butchering a lot of these names. I apologize. But he was actually a military commander in the Middle East and the secondary antagonist of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And of course, Modern Warfare Remastered. He was actually featured as the main villain in the very first act of the campaign until Imran Zakharov took his place as the main antagonist in the final 2 acts of the game. And he actually appears at the very, very end of the cutscenes. At the end of the credits, the post-credit cutscene, which kind of leads into Spec Ops, which I'll be honest with you guys, I have yet to play Spec Ops, so I'm assuming that they're going to kind of expand on that story a little bit. But this is explaining specifically the ending of the campaign. We'll do some other stuff for, the actual Spec Ops story, depending what it is once I've played through it. But it seems like a lot of the operations that you have to do in Spec Ops is a result of the actions of al-Assad, and he seems to be the mastermind behind whatever's going on in that part of the story. And of course, Spec Ops is an expansion. It's an extension of the campaign story, which will then of course lead into the new Modern Warfare 2 in a couple of years whenever they make and release that. So yeah, those are all the name drops, my friends. Those are all the names and how they're related to the original trilogy, who they are, etc., etc., and just kind of a little bit of an explanation of that ending in case you guys didn't know or needed a little bit of a refresher. Of course, if you want to expand your knowledge on all these characters, you can go to the Call of Duty wiki. This wasn't meant to be a super in-depth, just kind of a brief explanation and kind of a brief kind of touching of who they were in the original trilogy and why so many of us were shocked to hear so many of these name drops. Task Force 141, of course, Simon Ghost Riley, Zakharov, to see al-Assad at the end in the post-credit scene. Just all these different things was very, very surprising and very, very nice. And I just cannot wait for the next Modern Warfare 2, or whatever they're going to call it, in a couple of years. Hopefully that comes sooner than later, because I'm super excited to see how this story kind of continues to unfold. So glad that Modern Warfare is back. Hopefully you guys are glad about it too. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below. Hopefully this video was informative for you guys. Hopefully you still enjoyed it and found it useful. And, hopefully I was straight to the point enough, and hopefully I give you guys enough information. Again, if you want more information, you can always look it up, but I want to give you guys kind of a brief rundown about all these characters, who they are, and their relevance, basically, to the original trilogy and to the new assuming trilogy. But thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and let me know how you guys enjoyed Modern Warfare's campaign, of course, the new campaign. Catch you guys very soon, another one like always. Until then, game on.
141.